Worse, if he is conscious about the size of his manhood, of which most men are, and I don't know who told them that their manhood is the holy grail, because it turns out most women, yes, there are still a few who worry about the size, but most women say, hey, can you use it? It doesn't matter the size, but the question is, are you able to use that thing that God blessed you with? You could be well endowed and have this humongous thing, but if you do not know how to use it, all you're doing is causing the poor lady pain and scratching and bruising her and causing her a sore kitty for the next couple of weeks. But if you have just the right size, or no matter what size you have, and you know how to use it, that is the most important thing. Know how to use whatever size you have. Hey gorgeous, Nokie Evans here, author of Spice It Up. It's time. May neglect some of the most important but subtle things like emotional connection, and this emotional connection may come by means maybe you're spending more time in foreplay, which I'm going to cover in this point, because it is super important, and I cannot overemphasize the importance of taking time and not skipping over or ignoring foreplay. That can make or break your session. All right, now let's move on to the fourth reason why some men suck in the bedroom, and that is, it's the men self-focused versus partner focused. Focusing on oneself, also known as selfishness, can lead to dissatisfaction, can leave your spouse, your lady, like what I mentioned in the previous point, feeling used. Whereas sexual intimacy is supposed to be a give and take, you give and you receive. When you take the time to focus not only on yourself but focus on your woman as well, that is going to make her feel special. It will make both your experiences pleasurable. So you want to make sure that you spend time focusing not just on yourself but on your partner as well. Check in with her. How is this? Is this working for you? Are you okay? Are you ready? Can I come in now? Or how are you feeling? How is this? Anything, you know, I can go on. The list is endless. You can just talk to her and find out. Again, it goes back to communication for you to find out if a couple of weeks. But if you have just the right size, or no matter what size you have, and you know how to use it, that is the most important thing. Know how to use whatever size you have. Have a big one and know how to use it in order not to hurt her. Have a less than average one and know how to use it to give a mind-blowing orgasm, all because you know how to use it. I don't know how much we can stress that as ladies about this size thing. Most women who have matured and gotten over the size thing, they say, hey, it's not about this size. Get it out of your head and know that if you have whatever God blessed you with and you are able to use it, man, you are good. Okay, bro? Get that point and get it right. Stop being insecure about the size of your manhood, and stop being anxious about how you are performing in bed, because you are ruining it for her. And insecurities, you don't even need to say it in words, because your actions will show that you are insecure. And I tell you, that is the biggest turn off, a man who is insecure. Okay, now let's move on to number 6. Okay, at number 6, it's lack of knowledge, and this lack of knowledge comes in two parts. It can be lack of knowledge for your spouses or your partner's preferences, or it can be lack of knowledge on the whole process, on what to do. You may be very new to this sexual intimacy thing, but listen, when it comes to lack of knowledge about your partner's preferences, it is very important to know and understand that not every person is the same. The person that you married may be different to the lady that you used to be with, and it's very important to take the time to learn and understand your spouse. Treating everybody the same, it's one big mistake. If your previous relationship, if the lady used to enjoy maybe oral and this one here cannot stand oral, then you have to understand what really gets her going? What does she enjoy? And that takes communication. If you communicate with her, if you take time to learn, if you learn her body, if you learn her movements, if you learn what her reactions, if you listen to the sounds she makes when you do particular things, if you confirm with her what gets her going, then you're going to understand that this woman that you married, this is what gets her going. Kissing her on the neck gets her going. Some people don't stand being kissed inside the ear, but if you kiss her on the neck, if you play around with her nipples or suck lightly at her nipples, she may enjoy that. And yet maybe that person never used to, and because your communication sucks and you skip on the nipple thing, and yet she enjoys the nipples. And yes, ladies, I'm coming after you because this communication thing goes both ways. In the next video, you want to make sure that you stay tuned. Don't get excited about this video going after men. And by the way, let me stop here and say these videos are not just to attack or to point at errors. These videos, this is an educational channel, and this information is so that you can course correct. It's so that you can get better. It's so that you can be a pro, you can be skilled, you can have better relationships, you can stay married forever. We are sick and tired of the world taking over and teaching you guys how to do this sexual intimacy the wrong way, which is why most of it doesn't even work. Okay, and the lack of knowledge can come in somebody who is just in the stages of learning, and he may be with a lady who is knowledgeable. Work together to guide him and teach him. Don't teach him in a way that you are overbearing. You still need to remember that he's a man and give him his place. You can do it gentle, you can do it in a respectful way, for one goal, that is for both of you to enjoy and pleasure one another. Okay, moving on to number 7. The number 7 thing that may make a man suck in the bed is, hey gorgeous, do you need help spicing up your intimacy, or are you a new wife who has no idea on what to do as far as sexual intimacy? Yeah, that is where I come in. I am that sexual intimacy coach that you've been looking for. I'm going to leave links in the description box of my calendar so that you can book a session with me, whether you want to spice up your intimacy or you have a challenge sexually that needs to be addressed, or you are a new wife who is clueless. That's where I come in. I am your favorite sexual intimacy coach. Will you give me a chance to coach you? Yes, go ahead and check out the description box below and book your session today so that we can take your sexual intimacy from cold, maybe lukewarm, to blazing hot. Go ahead, book a session today, and I'll see you soon. If he lacks self-awareness, by that I mean he doesn't even understand his body. He doesn't understand, not only does he understand his body, he doesn't know what his desires are, and because of that he's not comfortable. Not only is he uncomfortable, but he's also not confident. He's also not confident because, for crying out loud, he is not self-aware. He does not know what he wants. He doesn't know what his desires are. If a man does not know what he wants, how can he satisfy a woman when in the first place he is not even self-aware? It will take a man to be self-aware first before he can even be in a position to perform and provide a satisfactory sexual intimate moment with his spouse. It takes self-awareness, and this is one thing that most guys overlook and ignore, but you need to be self-aware. Yeah, be aware of your wants, and this way you'll be able to communicate exactly what it is that you enjoy to your spouse, and vice versa. Okay, it may seem like it's an insignificant point, but it can make the whole difference between a pleasurable sexual intimate moment and an unpleasurable one. Okay, now let's move on to number 8. Most men are guilty of this one, so I am told. I believe this is one of the biggest complaints from women. At number 8, skipping aftercare. You're skipping aftercare, and what do we mean by aftercare? Aftercare is, I'm not just talking about the cleaning up process. No, I'm talking about the cuddling, I'm talking about the pillow talk, I'm talking about connecting emotionally, because the connection has to continue. Just holding tight, yeah, the cuddling and just talking and giving each other feedback and all those good things. But in most cases, what happens, I mentioned it in one of my previous videos, and you just neglected her. You wanted to feel like him not being so good in bed, it's because maybe of how life has turned out. And if that is your case, sis, I